Arrays. They are just lists. Arrays are stored in brackets, and you can throw in any data type. Right here we have a string, we have null, we have another array, and we have a number. The most common way to access an individual value in an array is to access the value through the index. So say we want to grab that first value that is a string of hello. That would be in our 0 index because indexing starts at 0. We run that, we get our string of hello. Say we want to grab that number at the end. That would be in our 0, 1, 2, 3 index. And we get our number as expected. A handy property of an array is its length. So say we want to see how many values are in that array. Just access that property. And we have 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 values. You might have noticed that the index ends at 3 and the length is 4. And that is because you are able to get the length of an empty array. So what is the length of an empty array? 0. And that will come in handy. With arrays, we are able to add or remove values using our methods push and pop. So, say we want to add a string to the end of our array. That array example dot push, add our string. Oh, we're still looking at the length. We have our array, and we just pushed it real good. If we inspect this array, we see that our length just moved up to 5. We can remove values from our array using the pop method. So, we should be getting rid of this number at the end because it is the last value. Pop that right off. And now our length is 3 and our array ends at the additional array right here. So that is expected. You are also able to add and remove values from the front of the array using shift and unshift. It's pretty much the same action except the beginning of the array. Arrays, so the big picture to take away from here is that arrays are just lists, and you can add or remove any data type from these guys. JavaScript arrays, they don't hate and they don't discriminate against different data types. You can access values by index, which is the value's position within that array. A common use case for arrays would be if you return a list of users from a survey. You probably would be returning an array of objects where each object would be a different user. I have an example right here of a fake server. We know that it returned an array because it begins with that square bracket, and we have an object right here which is a user, and we have an object right here which is another user. And since it opens with that square bracket, Firefox knows it's an array, and they are kind enough to make it look pretty for us. So we have 0 through 9, we have 10 users, and we can click on each one of these, and it looks a lot nicer than looking at that raw data. So this is just a quick look at arrays. They are capable of much, much more. Get to know them, get to love them.